Kyle here, and welcome to this Cruiser Customizing Tip of the Week. This week we're taking a Chrome Accessories elliptical light bar and putting on this Vulcan 900 Classic. Now this installation is pretty straightforward. As you can see, there's a couple miscellaneous tools we're going to have here that we're going to use. We're going to use some wrenches, maybe some sockets, and some simple wire cutting and crimping tools. And, of course, this is necessity. This is the turn signal relocation piece that will allow us to take the stock turn signals and mount them to the bottom of this light bar. Let's go ahead and get started by unpackaging the light bar, showing you kind of the pieces that we've got here, and then getting the motorcycle ready for the install. Now, inside any of the light bar kits from Chrome Accessories, you're going to have detailed instructions. This will walk you step by step, everything you've got to do in order to get this light bar on your motorcycle. And one of the neat things with the Chrome Accessories light bar kits is that they are model specific. This here, for example, is the model specific mounting bracket that will make this bar mount perfectly onto this Vulcan 900. In addition to that, it comes with all of the wiring that you need. This wire harness here is not only going to give the light bar power, but it also comes with a switch, so you can choose whether you want this light bar to be running high beam, low beam, on, off. It's all taken care of. Now, a key component in any light bar installation is the relay. Without this relay, you're either going to burn out your high-low beam switch or even the supplied one here from Chrome Accessories. Now that we've got all these parts laid out, we know that everything is accounted for. We're going to go ahead and read the instructions. We're then going to remove the stock OEM turn signal bar and get this installation underway. So we're going to start by removing the negative terminal from the battery so we can make sure that there's no power going to this bike, so we eliminate any chance of electrical shock. Before I go any further, I'm going to lay a clean towel here on top of the fender. This will keep anything that falls, a screw or anything like that, from falling down and denting or scratching the top of my fender. It's a good thing to do when doing risers, light bars, or anything that's above a painted surface. We're then going to come up here to the headlight bezel, and we're going to remove the two screws that hold this front piece in. Now we're going to go ahead and disconnect the headlight and set the housing aside. Now I'm going to disconnect the left and right side turn signals. Simple connector, go ahead and lift this tab and then pull them apart. Come apart pretty easily. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I note that this one here is the left-hand turn signal. The other one's going to be our right side. We're now going to come in and remove these two bolts here at the bottom holding the turn signal bar in place, as well as over here on the side of the fork. We're going to have this Allen head bolt here on either side to remove. There you go. The removal of the front turn signal bar isn't too difficult. Now we're going to be reusing these stock turn signals and attach them to our new light bar. Next we get our driving light extension bracket, and we're going to set it up in place. Now we're going to install the supplied new front brake line holder. There we go. A little bit of coercing, but she's in there nice and tight. Now we're going to install the driving lights onto the light bar. As you can see here on the inside, it's a really tight fit, so you've got to finger tighten that nut in there. And with these wires it can be kind of tough, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fold this wire in thirds so it's about the same length as that ground wire there. And then I'm going to take my socket and put these wires up into the top of my long socket here. And what I'm now going to be able to do is put final torque on this light bar housing. Now that we've got the lights installed, we're going to go ahead and install our model specific turn signal brackets, which will allow us to take the turn signals off the stock bar and put them on the driving light bar. Once you get the nut broke loose here on the inside, you can easily spin it off. Once it's off, go ahead and pull the rubber grommet to the end and the nut. And then slide the turn signal out. Now we have the stock turn signals removed, we're going to take the turn signal adapter. And what we're going to do here is we're going to slide this adapter up the wire harness. And then we're going to take one of the nuts we just removed and replace it. Go ahead and repeat on the other side, and then we'll come back and attach this to the light bar. With our adapter now attached to the turn signal, we're going to take this turn signal and we're going to run the wiring up through the center of the light bar. We're now going to take these black wires and run them through the bar, and then they're going to connect into our driving light. This now gives us power to our driving light. Now we're going to need to ground the driving light itself. What we're going to do is we're going to use a Scotch lock connector. We're going to find the ground wire here on the turn signal, and we're going to slide this through and pinch it closed. What this essentially did is just gave us a male spade. Take our ground wire, make the connection. Now we're going to plug that in. Now what I've done here is I've pushed the end of that connection up inside and given it a little tug. As you can see, all that wire is now inside the bar itself. We're now going to take this stock turn signal, push it up into place, and now we're going to take one of these set screws. There's going to be 3 set screws, one on the front, one on the side, and one on the back. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock into that aluminum piece that we attached to this turn signal. Now we've got the light bar fully assembled, we're going to go ahead and set it on top of the bracket here, and then install all 3 of our screws. We're now going to reach our 2 stock turn signal connectors up into the housing here and reconnect them. Now before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and turn the motorcycle on and verify that our left and right turn signals are functioning appropriately. Now at this stage in the game, we can also double check and make sure our driving lights are appropriately hooked up, just to make sure that everything's kosher. We're going to take our 2 driving light wires, we're going to run them up, back behind the headlight, under the tank, and back towards the battery. Now here in the instructions from Big Bike Parts or Show Chrome Accessories, we have how exactly to wire your relay. Alright, so here we have everything wired up. Come on in and take a look. What we've done is we have one pinched off to the ground, we have another to the positive side of the battery, and then one to a switch source. Those all then plug in here, as well as both of the driving lights, and now we have our switch. So now we can turn our key on. That now gives us power to the system. As you can see, the driving lights are not on. I'm going to flip the switch, boom. This shows you everything's working according to plan. So we decided that instead of drilling into the side cover, we go ahead and mount the switch directly above the ignition. As you can see, with the key off, there's no power to the switch, the lights are completely off. When you turn the key on, you can see that this switch does have power, so you know that it's functioning. And this will now give us the on-off feature of these driving lights. When it comes to safety, having driving lights on the front of your motorcycle make a huge difference. Before the installation of this bar, we had running lights and a headlight, and that was it. This is what oncoming traffic now sees. With safety of the essence, this footprint right here makes you more visible and thus safer on the road. Driving lights are a great enhancement if you're looking to increase visibility as well as your own safety.